Okay, Mil-Comm. I've had a couple people comment in and ask me and to do talk a little bit about this product. They've seen me use it. I guess they've seen some of the corrosion tests we've done, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I do use Mil-Comm products. And so I've had some people inquire about it, so I thought I'd do a quick vid about it. If you've watched the channel for a while, like I said, you know, I do use this, especially back when I was Armory Guild. I actually had a video up about it, but that video didn't get pulled over to the new channel, so I thought I'd throw one up. First thing right off the bat, guys, no, I do not work for Mil-Comm. I have never worked for Mil-Comm. I do not get compensated by Mil-Comm in any way, manner, fashion, or form, either monetarily or with product or anything else. I purchased their product with my money and I use it because I believe in it. To me, this is the best thing I have ever found to use on my guns. And before I was using this, what I was using at the time I thought was the best or one of the best. Found it to be much superior in my opinion, and so I made the switch, and I've been using it for about 3 years, and I'm very, very happy with it. But anyway, like I said, that one video I had up under Armory Guild, I told a little bit about how I found it and why I made the switch to it. So we're going to talk about that again. About 3 years ago, where I live at in Arkansas, it's starting to change, number one, and that's a good thing. We're starting to get some more gun shops are starting to get more stuff in and starting to expand. We're starting to get some retailers in that are carrying other products, and that's a good thing. But at the time, you couldn't just walk into a gun store and buy a little tube of grease without buying like a whole big package of stuff, you know, like Otis or something like that. And I didn't want to buy, I couldn't see spending 40 bucks on a bunch of crap, on a whole kit of stuff I wasn't going to use anyway, except for that one, just on that one little tube of grease. And I know there's a lot of people said, oh, just go down to the auto store and get this synthetic stuff here. And that's fine, you know. And if you look at one of the corrosion tests I did with Mobile One Synthetic, hey, they had got an argument because that shit did pretty good, right? But at any rate, I just couldn't get my mind around using something that was not specifically designed or marketed for firearms. I wanted to do that. And for some reason, when I bought my SIG, I got ripped off on my little tube of Mil-Comm that comes with it because it wasn't in there. But at any rate, so I never knew about it, never tried it. But I was looking around for it, so I decided to go online, and I was on Midway USA and was looking through some of the synthetic grease. And yeah, you could get Hoppy's grease that, man, I wish I should have brought it. But it's not synthetic, or at least that big tube of grease wasn't, and that stuff is, well, it collects dirt and everything else. But I wanted synthetic grease, but I was, you know, I'm getting off track. I was, went to Midway USA and was looking through some of their synthetic grease, and I came across this product. And at the time, you could buy this little tube of grease, which is 1.5 ounce, which is plenty, goes a long way. And at the time, they would give you this little bottle of TW25 in the oil, okay? And it was a little bitty motherfucker. And I wish I'd kept that little bottle, but it was a sample. And so it was for free, and I think the tube of grease is like 10 bucks. So I said, ah, let's try it. So I bought it. And got it in, and I was reading through some of the literature on it. It said, you know, hey, if you use solvents or CLPs or something, they can leave a film on it. We recommend that you wipe it down with at least 91% alcohol to get all that off, to have bare metal to apply the product to. So I did that, lubed it all up, and a couple of days later went to the range. Well, I was shooting this thing, fired it through pretty quick, and I'd say probably fourth mag on it, somewhere between 30 and 50 rounds. I noticed a difference in how it was cycling. And the best way that I know to describe it to you guys is like everybody's ridden on a gravel road. And I'm not talking one with a bunch of potholes and you're jumping around like you're on the back of a damn horse. You know, a freshly graded gravel road. One that the gravel's all about the same size. It's really a smooth surface, but it is gravel or Chad. But it's a good surface, and then you jump up on pavement and it just kind of smooths out. That's the way the gun did. It was very subtle, but it was literally almost from one round to the next. And so I fired another magazine through it, and I was like, my God, this thing has a Rolls-Royce recoil on it now, instead of just a Cadillac recoil. Well, there was a guy there at the range that I knew, and he had a 229, same as mine. His name was Jim. God, I can't even think of his last name now. Been a while since I've seen him too, but at any rate, he was there. I said, Jim, hey, do me a favor, shoot a couple rounds with my gun. He goes, okay. He fired 5 or 6 rounds down range, set it down, came back, said, hey, what'd you do to that gun? And I said, could you tell the difference? Could you tell how that was cycling? He goes, my Lord, yeah, that thing's smooth as silk. What kind of springs you got in it? He's an older guy. He thought I'd changed out the recoil springs. He was wanting to get the same ones. And all I had done was use this. So I was like, I wonder if that's a fluke. So I came home and I got our XD and our 2.7, the 2 polymers that we had at the time. And so I did the same thing. I cleaned them up, wiped them down with the alcohol, put the stuff on it, took off back to the range. Probably a little bit further along. It probably took about 50, 60, maybe 70 rounds with these. And it was nowhere near as dramatic. It was much more subtle, but the change happened on them too. They got smoother, and they have remained smooth. I've had people fire our 2.7 and our XD that have the same gun, and ours fires smoother than theirs. Not a lot. There's not a big change. Nowhere near as big a change as there was with the SIG, and the SIG was real mild. Like I said, it's just kind of like jumping up on the pavement. Even less, but it did smooth out. I've had people comment, man, I wish mine fired that smooth. And so I tell them about this, and they're happy. So I was like, okay, one more time. So when I got my 1911, y'all all saw my 1911 series where I did the fluff and buff on it, okay? And of course, that series, we talked about it. The only thing what we do on that is what the gun will do itself after about 700-800 rounds. We just kind of take the rough edges off and smooth it out. I put it all on there and ran it, and this thing, like I said before, guys, it fires smooth as silk. And the best way I know to describe this one, the way I can illustrate the most, is with my wife. And my wife had carpal tunnel surgery on both of her hands, and she never really got all of her strength back. Now, her primary carry was her Glock 2.7, and she can shoot it, but after about really one mag, maybe the second, it really starts to hurt her hand. And she can't shoot it. She won't shoot it more than one magazine. Now, she can shoot the XD. She can get a couple of magazines through it because the recoil is less dramatic. She can take the 229 and literally shoot it all day long without too much fatigue on her hands. She can do the same thing with this 1911, and it's a 45 ACP. Now, I know it's a little bit heavier, so it's going to be more manageable, but that's telling me this thing's firing pretty smooth if she can fire it without it hurting her hands. And that's why there's going to be another one of these coming sometime this year, because she wants one. She's trying to get this one. She's not going to, but I'm going to get her one. It's very similar. That'll be a good video. But at any rate, that's telling me that it works pretty well. And so that's what made me really become a believer in the lubricating abilities of this. And then the corrosion abilities, we did our corrosion test, and it's just incredible. But if there's one gripe with Mil-Comm I had, and I'm probably going to walk this back, it was with this cleaner. I always felt, I don't necessarily know if I still do or not, but I always felt that this should have been a little bit more stout. But after you use these products for a while, the gun does not get as dirty. Now, I know there's a lot of companies out there that claim that. Militech claims that, which I understand Militech to be a great product. I've never used it. So I take people's word for it. Weapon Shield, Slip 2000, they claim that. Frog Glue claims that. And I can't speak for none of those on experience, but I can with this. And after you use this product, the gun does not get as fouled. It seems to not retain fouling as bad. So this works a lot better then. And it does not take a lot of this once you get the gun used to this product. Now, if you try to use this and you have not used these, you're going to be scrubbing. Trust me, I've done it. But after you use these products, it doesn't, this works very, very well. So that may be their reasoning behind leaving it like it is. It is a good degreaser, and so it works. The system works if you use the system. It's not an all-in-one. There's a cleaner and a lubricant and a lubricant protectant. So these are the same thing. This is the grease and this is the oil. This is a lighter viscosity than this. This is the paste or the grease version. And you can use this on all the gun. Use this in tight places. Now this, you can also get these two in this form. This is a syringe. This happens to be the 2500 oil based version of it. And you can also get the paste in a syringe, and they're refillable too. So once you fill it out, you can pull the syringe out, fill it back up with this, and continue to use it. And that's pretty cool. It gets down into some tight places with this. It's really neat. So you have a couple different options you can use. But guys, that's the reason I use it. I believe in the product. I think it's a very, very good one. I am not knocking any other product out there, guys. I have said this 100,000 times. So everybody who's getting ready to get all ass hurt, listen up. You use what you like and what works for you. If that's hoppies, fine. And I still use hoppies on my shotguns because I love the smell. We went through that once before. It brings back old memories. But if it's that, if it's Ballistol, if it's break-free COP, if it's frog lube, whatever, if you like that product and it works for you, then by God, that's what you use. You're not, no skin off my nose. Use what you like and what works for you. This is what I like and this is what works for me, and that's why. Everybody that I've ever recommended this to, if they try it and they've used it, they're sold on it. Literally 100%. People that I know personally, I've said, you know, this is what I used. I've actually given them a bottle of this and said, clean it up, told them how to do it, and they use it. They say, okay, where do I buy it? Every person to every single one has fell in love with it. So, like I said, if somebody comes out with something that's better than this and it can be proved to be better than this, I might make the switch. But until then, this is what I use. Anyway, guys, got some really cool stuff coming in. I got something coming in tomorrow. We're going to put on the Thunder Ranch 500, so we're going to do a video about that. And I got another thing coming in, a new holster that I want to try out. At least it's new for me. There's been a lot of people recommend it, so we're going to give her a shot. And we're going to do a review on that. And we're going to do an I don't necessarily know if I'll do an opening since it's not a gift from somebody, but I will. We'll do a review, an overview of it, and I'm going to wear it, and we'll do a review on it. But we'll do a review on the TR500 install of what I got coming in. So anyway, guys, that'll be tomorrow night. It'll be up sometime, hopefully Saturday, if everything works all right. And that's all I got. If you got any questions, guys, let me know. And hey, later.